This video is about changing your beliefs. It's time to learn how to consciously change your beliefs and quit suffering with the reality as it is. Everything you don't like, everything that's pissing you off right now is a function of beliefs. It's not the other people, and you're not going to get the change, right? It's too massive, too hard. How am I going to change the world? I got to get aggressive. And maybe just make simple. Democrats are shitty. No, Republicans are shitty. No, liberals are shitty. No, black people are shitty. No, white people are shitty. It's like, that can't work. I got to change my beliefs about each one of those so that thing can break down, so that thing can change. This video will change your life if you learn how to do what I'm suggesting here. Subconscious is the key to changing your life immediately. Your subconscious is the space. It's almost like the liminal. It's a gatekeeper between the reality that you want to experience in this incarnation and all your unconscious incarnations combined. So the subconscious controls all the information. And all the information has been inputted by your unconscious ability to choose. Because in conscious reality, you're either consciously creating or you're consciously allowing. Sometimes you're unconsciously allowing. And sometimes you're unconsciously creating. So the subconscious can take a lifetime of patterns and end it in an afternoon. So the subconscious is the gatekeeper. Therefore, all the power of the universe is available to you through the gatekeeper. I hear my baby boy back there. He's just learning how to talk. He doesn't really know how to say much, but he's so cute. So the subconscious is the most elegant route, right? If I could get the avenue that allows my perceptions to be expressed in physical reality, if I can make adjustments to that, form will be following function. Beliefs precede all physical experience. This is probably the number one thing I would say to get under your belt. Because you can heal yourself with this. You can change the world with this. Anything that you really feel compelled to change about yourself, about anybody else, about anything else, that's all the information comes through your subconscious. So the subconscious can answer anything and everything. And the better you get at understanding that, the more you access a tremendous amount of power. To elevate into a new paradigm, you have to take on more responsibility. The adolescent doesn't like that, but the adult is excited about that. To just tell me where to take more responsibility is what the adult's going to be. And the subconscious is the place to take that responsibility as much as you possibly can. Most of your patterns that you experience were moments in your life that you were really feeling yourself and you made a decision. And most of the time, our decisions reflect our high side or our very low side because we're not conscious. We're not realizing when I'm really feeling and I'm like, oh, never do that again. You don't realize subconscious goes, oh, never ever are you going to feel love. Okay, I got it. We will not send you anything that you're going to love. And then you realize nothing's good enough. It's your subconscious delivering old ideas about your experience. The subconscious is telling you that by patterns. It can only help you, it can only give you what you told it to. And it does it beautifully, perfectly. If it didn't do it perfectly, it would be hard for you to see an adjustment in real time to physical reality to the way I'm thinking and feeling about myself and the situation that I'm in. So the subconscious is what's giving you your reality. If you have ideas about authority and it looks like, yeah, I love conspiracy theories. There's people out there doing all that. That's your subconscious at a time when you decided sometime long ago that authorities couldn't be trusted. You know, something happened at school or something happened with your mom. Or maybe you really respected the neighbor's dad 2 doors down and he told you something once. You see, you make idea and it impacted me and I was like, oh, I can't believe you said that to me. What a bang, bang, bang. Subconscious says, okay. The way you were thinking, because you elevated that man, and that man was maybe a chauvinist. It's like that man, I'll be mad about that in the future after I made a decision, I don't like those people. And so there's a separation. In that intensity of emotion, in that thought, the subconscious separates you because that's what you decided to do in that moment. So now it has to come at me. I have to heal this. So the subconscious, when it gets a chance to see that kind of person, it throws that kind of person in front of your reality so you have the same reaction. I hate those guys. When you're supposed to be like, wow, that's part of myself that I denied. I have to tell my subconscious that I'm recognizing what I'm doing now. Like I'm recognizing, see, the subconscious will respond to that. So you want to start making choices that I'm going to be more responsible in reality. Not take on more duty and obligation like an adolescent, but I'm going to respond honestly, vulnerably, emotionally. To learn, because you weren't taught. So it's going to look funny at first. But your subconscious is what's giving you your patterns. What makes the sun come up in the same consistency every year? It's your subconscious. The subconscious is critical. Critical for your life to be fun and easy and graceful. To be accepting of yourself and realize, oh, that's just a decision I made a long time ago and I've been holding it for so long, it's limiting me and hurting me, and my subconscious is giving me the pattern more and more, so in hopes that I'd recognize that. Subconscious has perfect integrity. And that's what's beautiful when you learn to work with it. When you learn to work with it and you actually make a shift and boom, that whole thing changes, you're like, oh my God, I did that. I did that. I know I did that because that's what I was working on. And a lot of times you don't realize this thing over here is actually wired to 3 not logical linear events in my life, because you're not wired logically and linear, you're wired emotionally, so you don't realize that this impacts 2 other arenas in my life that didn't even look connected, but because I recognize this and all of a sudden I recognize these other changes, I could see how interlinked my subconscious is to my experience. So, with that said, I'm going to teach you now. You need to personify your subconscious. The beautiful thing is, because you're making it up, you can't be wrong. Whatever you do within the context of what I'm about to say, you can't be wrong. But your subconscious, since it's a gatekeeper, you want it to be some kind of gatekeeper. You want to metaphorically, alchemically match the form with the function. So that way, when I go into a meditation, I've matched the form and the function so well imaginatively that my subconscious is like, oh, I see. You do see who I am. It adds more power to it to personify your subconscious and to do it alchemically, naturally. So you want it to be a gatekeeper. What is that? It could be a librarian. Could be Captain Kirk of the USS Enterprise. It could be the people that run the space shuttle, like a control center of somehow. It could be a ticket office. It could be anything, as long as it is a place that gets information, because that's what you're trying to tell it. I'm going to the place of information. And so a library is a great choice. I personally have. The USS Enterprise is mine. But it's not Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk is not the player. It's my subconscious. He's very nerdy. He's got a pocket protector and ink pens for all different things unless we need to get clear on something. The other thing is you want people to work there, because that way when you imagine that the subconscious, this is later, but I'll tell you about this. When you're imagining with the subconscious and creating an environment that you want the subconscious to generate, they are going to dictate to the other minions, start changing the reality right away. They want to do this because I've got this connection now. This connection that already exists, it's just not conscious. So you personify it in any way that makes sense to you. The fact that it's a control center person. It could be a man, woman, doesn't matter. It could be anything as long as it seems like it's a gatekeeper of some sort. Because you're layering this in a way that the subconscious says, oh, if you're taking the time to show me what I know that I am, I know you're talking to me now. And so it pays attention. So you personify this subconscious. You go into a meditation, you go into the safe place. I've already talked about that, right? Right? That's on a video.
Imaginative meditation.
Imaginative meditation. So you go in there, you leave your safe place, and you go for a walk. And you just come upon. Now, this walk you go on, I would suggest that it's a certain special path that you only go on when you're going to this place. It's not a road that leads to a road. It could be. I mean, it could be a Y off of a road, but it's its own place. And you're going to go, and you're going to go down your path or your road or whatever, your river, whatever it is that you want to take there. And so you come up to the library or the command center or the Starship Enterprise, and you just walk in, and as soon as you walk in, you create that everybody looks, because you're the president. You're the commanding officer on deck. That's a military term for when an officer walks into a space. Everybody says attention on deck. It's to let you know there's an authority here, and they're already programming you. Attention on deck. You do the same thing with your subconscious. When you walk in, there should be attention on deck. The person will greet you. This is your subconscious. And then you're going to ask them, I'd like to go to the room of beliefs. And so the subconscious is going to take you there. Now, you don't memorize how to get there. It's somewhere in the maze. So it's going up steps, down holes, through doors, through hallways. And all of a sudden they're not there, and you look down and they're way down the hallway, and you got to run after them. It's like you have to chase your subconscious with intention now. Not just like, oh, I talked to it and it walked me. No, by it going toward the information and going immediately and quicker than you can imagine, you have to keep up with it. But keep up with it. Keep up with it. It won't lose you, but don't worry about where it's going. Let it take you there. When it gets to this room, it'll be a locked up room. It'll be, maybe it's like mine. I imagine there's dark hallways. I'm like in the basement of the U.S. Enterprise, and there's the little red light over the door going, and right above the door, I have a red light flashing on purpose because I'm also inspiring my first chakra. I'm changing a base idea right now. And the light going on and the light going off is also another trigger to the mind. And it's a red light. A red light is another trigger to the mind. So the door is locked. You can't get in. Subconscious has a key, has a passcode, has a handprint. Subconscious allows you into the room of beliefs. Because free will dictates, you always have more power. Power is responsibility, remember, not amount of knowledge. You are the most powerful person in your unconscious and your conscious mind, subconscious and conscious mind. You. So you always have to remember that wherever you're going. They open the door. You walk in the door. You see a book, big leather book, say, or some kind of cool console, whatever. I like I think this book has been alive and as long as I have. Because this is where all the beliefs that I've ever said in my entire life are in this book, the book of beliefs. And so when you're in there, you're going to open that book. And the belief you're going to change, oh, there it is, right there when I open the book. And you're going to see it written down. I'm going to talk about more later, but I'm just moving through this. I'll fill you in. So you open the page, there it is, right next to the book. I like red. I use a red Sharpie. And so here's this, and I have a flame burning. When I walk into the room, the flame ignites the minute I walk into the room. And so there's just a little flame that floats in a tray. It doesn't have to be anything you've seen in your life. It just has to be a representation of the element, fire, Mikael. So you walk in, there's the book, there's your Sharpie, there's the pen, and there it is, the belief that I'm going to change. And so you look at the belief, you feel the belief, and then you make a very definitive no. I'm not doing this anymore. You pick up the red Sharpie, you X out the page, you rip the page from the book, you tear the page, and you burn it in the fire. 3 is a number of information. So when you do something 3 times, puts another level of information into the subconscious. So you destroy that piece of paper however you want. That's how I do it. You can do it any way you want. Just destroy that thing 3 different ways. And when you destroy that and you watch it burn, and while it's burning you're like, no, I do not want this to be my experience any longer. You now write in the book what you want the new belief. Now the new belief needs to be similar to the old belief. Like, gosh, this is always hard when I'm trying to pull something right out.
Men are weak.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Thank you. I love you.
I have that problem.
Men are weak. And you don't have to say, well, men are strong. You can just say, men aren't weak. That's very similar to the same syntax. It's very slight amount of change. It's that easy to make change. You want the change to be easy. You don't have to, and you don't want it to be a long, drawn-out thing. If it's 3 words, try to make the new one in 3 words. If it's 5 words, try to make it in 5 words. Try to say the same thing in a different way. Men aren't weak. You don't have to say men are strong, because you might get out of reality and now men are overwhelming, and I don't know, because I have another belief that men are stronger than me, and now that men are strong, I'm being dominated by men everywhere because I went in and changed the belief that men are stronger. So don't necessarily go after the opposing idea. Go after what I want. Men aren't weak. Easy, beautiful, same kind of syntax. That's how you use it. You write in the book, you say yes, you tell your subconscious, I want this done. And they're like, okay. They say yes right away, and you just say, just take me back, please. And you can be as easy as you look in their eyes, and you guys close your eyes, and you open your eyes, and you're back in your safe place. You just go back when you're done. And you let your subconscious, sometimes I'll go back, I'll walk through the ship, and I'll go back to the control room, and I'll watch everybody like typing in, and everybody's doing their job to make sure that they do their part to make the reality change in accordance to my will. This is something I should have mentioned earlier, but when you change those beliefs, I did say feel the belief. Feel the belief, how limited it's been. It's yours. That thing that you've been hating on and pushing away is yours. You're the one who decided that and forgot that you decided that. So a lot of the things you're going to have to change are the projections that you're placing on people around you, because those are your beliefs playing out. And so you really have to feel what you've done to be able to forgive yourself, and that releases the belief, right? I want to change a belief, but I also want to put a new one in. It's not like I just want to get rid of beliefs, because where there's belief, there's power. And when there's power and you can alter that power, it's a significant shift to your experience. It's like you want to go to the subconscious first. Now let's say you go and it doesn't change. What you're going to do is realize, wow, I went to the subconscious, it didn't change. Sometimes you don't understand enough, because many times there is a gift hidden in that belief that you're not aware of because you've been hating on it for so long. Like sometimes people say, God, you talk so much, you just talk so much. And I used to be like, yeah, I talk so much. And today I talk with my living, I talk all the time. It's not what it used to be, because my child had a belief that like, oh, I talk too much, and it's painful for people to listen to me talking to myself. And so when I changed that belief, all of a sudden everybody liked me to talk. It was a totally different experience. But it was like I had to go into my childhood and release the shame around that belief in order to get a much more profound change in the subconscious. So sometimes you do want to go in, because if it doesn't change, there's something about myself I need to know. If it doesn't change, there's something more for me to know. Not that it didn't work. If you hid a part of yourself behind that, like the thing you're hating on, if that's part of, well, really, I want to talk. That's why I'm so mad they talk too much, or they never, it's always about them, it's always about them. Because I want it to be about me, goddammit. You don't realize you're doing the same thing. You're mad because you want it to be about you. You're not realizing when I change that belief, I need to get that back. I need to feel good about talking about me. And I need to feel like a sense of liveness when I speak. You know, that gets stuck. So you're not going to be able to change a belief if there's something good in there for you. So, but it's easy. If I go in there and it doesn't change, then I dig some more. I dig some more for some information. So yeah, you want that new belief to be exciting. You want to look at the future. What's the future going to be like when I think like this now? Men aren't weak. Wow, it could be so much more fun, so much more exciting. You know, I could be better friends. I could see that maybe I could rely on one now. You know, not like the child, but to lean on it as a woman, like I could know that, you know, like to feel that future, whatever belief it happens to be, to get into it and start putting that energy in the future, because the future is the source of all healing. So realize the more that you understand belief precedes all experience, that you need to look for the feedback when you come out of meditation. You should be seeing a difference. So wait for the feedback. Look for the feedback. Don't just wait for it, but literally go, where is this going to show? Where should it show? I mean, if it's a very clear belief that I had with my family or with someone specific, I want to see that. Now, I don't want to instigate a problem just to see if they're going to do it again, because that would be your ego, and your ego can get you to do all kinds of lame things, right? So you want to look for the feedback, and a good amount of time to look for the feedback is 3 days. Look for the feedback for 3. If you don't see it in 3 days, it probably happened and you didn't see it, right? Because even if it doesn't change, you're like, well, it didn't change, I saw it, it's going to alter. You were still in the place of power. You were still doing something powerful. It's going to change, so you want to be able to look for it so you know what changed if the whole thing didn't. What changed about it that I went in and took a certain amount of responsibility? Sometimes the language isn't quite right. You think, because it's very important to get the language right when you look for a belief and you get a belief like, yeah, that's it. I can feel it. It's real to me. The words, when I speak them, resonate with the belief, and I can feel the pain of it, right? So you know that belief. And remember, when you're looking for these beliefs, most of them happen 2 years old, pre-verbally. You know, they're going to be simple, strong statements. You know, I'll never be good enough. And the subconscious says, okay, you'll never be good enough. So if you find that you're not good enough in life, you're holding a belief you're not good enough. So I got to go in there and change that. And that's the best place. Why try to prove how good I am? And all day long, every day, when everyone believes, I never prove I'm good enough. You know, like, that's a nasty, like, hamster wheel to be on in your life. And a lot of people are there. I know they are. And so that you have to learn how to change that kind of thing about yourself to have the life that you're looking for. And you can do it with this subconscious work. It's immensely powerful, more powerful than anything you could learn, any healing you could learn, anything at all. This trumps everything. And the better you are at it, the more powerful you become, and the more grace and elegance can come into your life. And remember, beliefs are not real. They're not facts. They're just opinions held with conviction. They are not based in fact, and rarely are they even based in experience. They're just things that you've aligned with and was like, yeah, I believe that. I believe that it works this way. I believe that's the way it is. It's belief. You're right. You're saying it right, but you don't know what you're saying when you say that, right? It is. It's just belief. Your dream life is no more than a belief away.